What is going on, guys? John B, aka Smooth Chocolate here. Happy Wednesday, Hump Day, whatever you want to call it. We're in the middle of the week, guys. Almost the weekend again. I cannot wait. I'm doing this vid because I'm doing a little something different this time. I'm still going to read How I Got My Shrunken Head again on the next day, which is tomorrow. But I wanted to do something that still pertains to Goosebumps, though. We have a new Goosebumps Slappyworld book coming out called Revenge of the Invisible Boy, number 9 in the whole series. And I got a chance to get a free chapter sample of the book. See if you guys are interested in checking out when it comes available. By the way, it comes out October 1st, which is just around the corner. It's right like next Tuesday, I think. Should be great. But I wanted to see what your thoughts about this first chapter is, and hope that you like the read of it. Without further ado, let's begin the read of Revenge of the Invisible Boy, Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Have I mentioned that I hate Ari Goodwin? Ari is spelled A-R-I, just to clarify. I guess I haven't mentioned it since I'm just starting my story. But I hate Ari, and you'll soon see why. My name is Frankie Miller. I'm 12. My magician name is Magic Miller. My story starts while I'm on stage in an auditorium in front of everyone at Han Solo Middle School in Barberton, Ohio. As you can probably tell, I like to be serious and careful and accurate and correct. Those are all important for a magician, especially for a magician who's just learning how to do dangerous tricks. I'm in a magic club with my friends Melody Richmond and Eduardo Martinez, and Ari. One reason I hate Ari Goodwin is that he is not serious and careful. And there are two other things. Ari is a goof, and he's a flake. And there's no place for a goof or a flake when you perform magic. Our magic club meets every Wednesday after school. We study the history of magic. We read about all the great magicians of the past, and we learn how to perform new tricks. We don't really want Ari in our club. He makes fun of us. He messes up our tricks. He has no interest in the history of magic. He has a bad attitude, and that's the best thing I can say about him. The problem is, the rec room in Ari's basement is the only place we can meet. It's the only place that's big enough for us to spread out and try new tricks. Also, Ari's mom makes the best chocolate chip cookies and the sweetest lemonade. She brings them downstairs for us every week and then goes back upstairs and leaves us alone. So what choice do we have? We have to keep Ari in the club, even though we wish he'd go upstairs with his mother and leave us alone too. Anyway, as my story starts, I'm on stage in the auditorium. Mrs. Hazy, our principal, has introduced me as Magic Miller, and I'm about to perform the most difficult illusion I know. I'm about to levitate myself off the floor. I'm going to appear to float and hang suspended 6 feet in the air. Of course, it's an illusion. I can't really fall off the floor. I admit I have tried it several times when no one was watching, but I quickly learned the hard truth. I don't have any special powers. Everything I do has to be a trick, an illusion. Some nights I dream that I can fly. In the dream, Melody, Eduardo, and I are performing a magic act on stage. We are wearing long red capes and holding magic wands. And as we end the act, our capes rise up behind us. We raise our wands in front of us, and we fly off the stage and out of the auditorium. The dream is so real, I think I can feel the cool wind on my face. The three of us, like superheroes, across the starry night sky. I'm always so disappointed when I wake up. As I said, I'm a serious, sensible guy. So I'm always surprised when my dreams are so wild, so unrealistic. Anyway, I'm about to amaze everyone in my school by levitating above the stage. It took a long time to set up the illusion properly. I have a harness strapped to my back so that no one can see. The curtain behind me is black, and I have a strong black cord that stretches up from my harness. No one can see the cord because it matches the curtain. There is a catwalk above the stage. It's like a metal scaffold with a wide walkway. The catwalk is hidden by the curtain, so no one in the audience can see that Ari is high above me. He is kneeling at the top of the catwalk. The black cord stretches from my harness up to the catwalk. Up there, it is coiled around a big metal wheel. You know, the kind of wheel you wrap a garden hose around. When Ari turns the wheel, the cord will go tight, and then, as he turns it more, the cord will lift me off the floor. It will look as if I'm floating up on my own. Ari will pull me up at least 6 feet off the floor. All he has to do is hold onto the wheel. Hold it steady so I appear to float. Then he will lower me slowly to the floor as the audience claps and cheers and goes wild. It was hard to set up, but an easy illusion to perform. Melody, excuse me, Melody and Eduardo were watching me from the side of the stage. Melody flashed me a thumbs up. I stepped into place. I could feel the cord tugging at the harness hidden on my back. I made my announcement to the audience. I will now perform a levitation trick known to only a few magicians in history, I shouted. Watch carefully. Without any props or devices, I will rise up from the stage and float in midair. Don't try this at home, kids. I thought that was a pretty good joke, but only a few kids laughed. I took a deep breath and raised my right hand. That was a signal for Uri to start pulling me up. I felt the cord jerk, then a hard tug, and yes, the cord pulled me up. I stood straight with my hands out to my sides. I heard a few kids gasp as my shoes left the stage floor. Higher, a few inches off the floor. I heard shouts in the audience. A few more gasps. Some kids started to clap. The cord tugged hard as I rose, 2 feet off the floor now. Slowly floating higher, 3 feet more. A hush fell over the auditorium. I glimpsed Melody and Eduardo smiling at me from the wings. I raised my right hand again. Ari followed my signal. He held tight, allowing me to float in place for a moment. I was at least 4 or 5 feet off the floor. 1 or 2 more feet to go. The audience started to clap. I took a short bow with my head. My shoes dangled in midair. And then, I felt something go wrong. Was the cord loosening? Yes. My breath caught in my throat as I felt myself start to go down. Fast. And I opened my mouth in a frightened scream. No! Help! Chapter 2, when the book comes out, guys. It's pretty good so far. This is John B. Smooth Chocolate talking to you. Have a good rest of the day, guys. Bye-bye.